Hey allihopa! Instead of a normal vlog, today I am doing a breastfeeding tag video. And this is a tag that was, I guess, resurrected by Heidi Kim a couple of days ago. And I'm so excited to be able to do this, because I think I saw this originally a few years ago and I felt like I couldn't really do it because I wasn't really breastfeeding properly, or at least that's how I thought of it when I was breastfeeding Tyrion. So now I finally can. It's time to put the kids to bed. They are anxious, so I'm gonna kind of do the bed night routine while I answer the tag questions for you guys, and then at the end I'm gonna tag a few people that I would like to see do this tag. Question 1. Where's the craziest or most random place you've ever breastfed? I don't think I've breastfed in any crazy places, but for us, I guess, the craziest place was at my internship in the break room, because I had my internship right as he was born. Well, it started when he was 4 weeks old, I think, and I was exclusively breastfeeding. So my husband, Michael, was at home with him during the days, and he came to the preschool. He came to the preschool where I had my internship, and brought Theo with him, and I breastfed him in the break room with all the other like teachers and stuff, which was very fun but very like random at the same time. Question 2. How many hours do you think you've breastfed since your little one was born? Obviously this one is very much like an estimate or a guesstimate, I guess you would say. I would say about 350 hours with Theo. I kind of calculated before on our evening walk. Hold that thought. So if we're gonna get through this video, I think we're gonna have to do it with a boob in Theo's mouth, which I guess is pretty fitting for this video actually. And I think I misspoke before. I checked my like little calculation again, and what I've written down is that I think I've breastfed Theo for about 500 hours and Tyrion for about 300 hours, which would be a total of about 800 hours. I'm not going to go into all the specifics of how I calculated this, but it's probably somewhere around that, which I think is a good amount of time. Question 3, your favorite thing about breastfeeding? And I guess this is cliche, but I would definitely say the bonding. And that's not just because it's awesome for anyone, because obviously it is, but it's also on top of that, because I had problems bonding with my first kid, and we had problems with breastfeeding, and I think that that was contributing to the problems that we had. Whereas with Theo, I kind of like bonded with him right away, and breastfeeding worked right away and has worked up until now at least. So I think that definitely comes into play. So that's my favorite thing about breastfeeding for sure. Ellen är helt säker på att hon gillar alla hundar. Det gör du också, va?
Nej, jag vill ha massa hundar.
Ja, vet ju det. Pappa, säger Ellen, kan jag få en hund? Kanske, säger pappa. Men pappa brukar säga kanske, sen brukar Ellen inte få någon hund. Question 4. Toughest moment while breastfeeding. I don't have a specific moment, but my toughest time breastfeeding was definitely when I was going through gallstone attacks, I guess you'd say, when I was breastfeeding Tyrion. Because when I did have an attack and I still had to breastfeed, that was just excruciating. But that's not because of the breastfeeding, it was because of that gallstone. But still, it's just horrible. Horrible. Question 5. How do you entertain yourself while breastfeeding? Well, I think a lot of people are gonna say the same thing, but my phone is definitely very important when I breastfeed most of the time, at least if I'm alone. I normally actually listen to audiobooks. I wish I was sponsored by Audible, because that's how I listen to my audiobooks, but I'm not. But it's definitely something that I would recommend. So I listen, and often I actually play games at the same time. So playing games on my phone, listening to audiobooks, definitely watching YouTube as well. And if I'm not alone, then usually I'm just keeping track of my other kid, Tyrion, my 4-year-old. So yeah, I guess that's how I entertain myself normally, most of the time. Idde hänger noga upp sina kläder, men Ester hinner inte riktigt. De har visst väldigt bråttom. You want to read one more book, don't you? Yeah. Can you show us the book? It's his new favorite, the skeleton book. Nighty night.
Nighty night.
I love you.
I love you. Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. Nighty night. Someone was super tired tonight. Let me see if I can put him to bed, and then I'll go through the rest of the questions. Okay, Theo is finally sleeping. That took longer than I thought it would, but yeah, he's sleeping, so I'm gonna go through the questions that are left. So question 6, favorite breastfeeding gadgets. I would say the number one thing that I use and that I've loved this time around for breastfeeding is our Ergo Baby carrier. It's just awesome for nursing in. Okay, I just ended the video, but I remembered another gadget that I love that I wanted to mention, and that's my Medela Swing breast pump. I just got it a couple of weeks ago. It was way more expensive than what I can actually afford, but I really wanted an electric breast pump, and it's been awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in. Question 7, how long do you plan to breastfeed? This one is kind of tricky because I feel like you can't really say plan, you can say hope. At least that's my view of it, because you can want to breastfeed for 5 years or for 6 months, but it doesn't necessarily work out that way because it all depends on you and your baby and how everything works, you know. But my hope has always been to breastfeed for like exclusively for 6 months, and then to keep breastfeeding until at least 2 years old, because that's what the World Health Organization recommends. And Theo is now 6 months and a couple of days, and we have officially hit that first milestone, because we have been exclusively breastfeeding up until now, and we are still, because I don't think that he's quite ready for solids yet. And as for nursing in 2 years, I mean, we will see what happens. I have no intention of like weaning him anytime soon, as long as it all works and we're both happy with it. So I'm hoping, but we'll see. And also, I mean, having another kid in the future, which is something that I want, kind of I guess puts a wrench in breastfeeding for me, because I have to do IVF, and to take the IVF hormones, I obviously have to stop breastfeeding first. So fortunately, our plan is that we're gonna save money once I get a job, once I'm done studying, and we will save money for about a year, which means that we will have the money for IVF hopefully in like the beginning of 2019. And Theo was born in January of 2017, so that works out pretty perfectly, like time-wise. That would mean that I'd be able to breastfeed him for 2 years, pretty much exactly, and then start IVF, but we'll see what happens. Question 8, this is the last question. Most embarrassing breastfeeding moment. And unfortunately, I can't think of anything. I'm sure I had some with Tyrion, because I was way more insecure about breastfeeding and breastfeeding in public around people and all that stuff. And Tyrion also had troubles latching, so there was a lot of exposed nipple when I was breastfeeding him. But I can't really remember anything. If I did have any like really embarrassing moments, I blocked them out by now. And with Theo, I don't really think anything's embarrassing, at least not something that's happened so far. So yeah, hopefully we just keep going that way, because yeah, I don't know, it's so natural that I don't really think it's embarrassing, I guess. So sorry, that's a boring answer, but that's my answer. And last but not least, obviously I have to tag some people, and I want to tag Mama Chavez. I think that's how it's pronounced. She has a mommy channel and a vlogging channel, and I'm gonna put both in the links below just because they're both awesome, so go subscribe to her. And then also I want to tag Little Tuckets. The only thing is, They are not active on YouTube anymore, but she is, the mommy, Galen, she is active on Instagram. So I'm gonna link her Instagram, and maybe, I don't know, she's doing a lot of Instagram stories right now, so maybe she can do some kind of like tag Instagram stories thing. That's kind of outside of the box, I guess, but it would be fun to see. So Galen, do this. I know you're breastfeeding, and I know you're very on top of Instagram stories, way more than I am. So do this tag on Instagram. Why not? Yeah, those are the 2 breastfeeding mommies that I wanted to tag. And now it's time to go do dishes and edit the vlog and do some cleaning. And then maybe mommy can have some sleep. And then waking up in about 3 hours to breastfeed again. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our daily family vlogs, and we will see you tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching today. Hej då!